The story centers on an ordinary family of 4. The couple has 2 adorable sons, the younger one is 4, and the older one is 13. One night, the wife wakes up in the middle of the night and goes downstairs, only to find the kitchen in chaos. Fruits and vegetables are scattered all over the floor, and the back door is wide open. Scared, she quickly locks it. They assume it must have been a wild animal, maybe a rabbit or something that got in to eat the veggies. They don't think much of it. The husband is an architect, but his last project got cancelled, and the entire design firm shut down. Job interviews haven't gone well either. With the mortgage piling up, the family's financial situation is dire. Still, not wanting to worry his wife, the husband lies and says things are going fine, and he expects to start a new job next week. That night, before bed, the wife double-checks all the doors and windows to make sure everything is locked. But strange things happen again. Even though the house is fully locked, someone rearranged all the jars and bottles inside, and a strange pattern appears on the ceiling. The windows weren't broken, so how did this happen? Suddenly, their younger son wakes up from a nightmare. When asked what happened, he says it was the Sandman. The wife doesn't take it seriously. After calling the police, officers inspect the house but find no signs of forced entry. One officer shares a similar past case. A little girl would mess up the kitchen every night while sleepwalking. But that still doesn't explain the strange arrangement of objects. The husband decides to reactivate the home security system, something they had stopped using to save money. That night, he finally admits to his wife that the job situation isn't looking good. His wife is upset about the lie, and they argue. Later that night, the alarm goes off. The couple rushes downstairs, but everything seems normal. The security company calls and says all 8 entry sensors were triggered at the same time, something almost impossible. Even stranger, all the family photos have been removed from their frames. The police again suspect it's just the kids playing pranks. But the alarm system checked out fine. The parents question the kids. The mom asks the younger one if it was the Sandman again. The boy says the Sandman doesn't talk. Now the parents are seriously concerned. The husband starts frantically searching the boy's room, looking for the missing photos. His itching behind the ear becomes worse. Later, he takes the younger boy to the park. Suddenly, the child wets his pants, stares blankly ahead, and lets out a terrifying scream. Everyone is shocked. Back at home, the mom finds a drawing her son made. Next to the house is a giant, creepy creature. At that moment, a loud thud hits the window. A bird has crashed into it and died. But it doesn't stop there. More and more birds start slamming into the windows, like a rainstorm of feathers. It's horrifying. Wildlife workers collect the dead birds and take them for testing. The house, from the outside, looks like a face covered in pimples. It's disturbing. That night, the wife wakes again and finds a dark figure in the younger son's room. But when she turns on the light, it's gone. The boy is naked and standing by the door, not remembering how he got there. The husband thinks she imagined it, but he's also scratching the back of his ear more than ever. Still confused, he installs cameras all around the house and stays up all night monitoring them. The next morning, while reviewing footage, he sees every room had brief moments of glitching static, like the image was distorted. What could be causing that? The wife, who works as a real estate agent, suddenly loses control during a house tour, smashing her head into a glass wall. It turns out she wasn't dreaming. She actually has bruises on her forehead. Her boss tells her to take a long break. The bird test results come back. They weren't sick. 3 different flocks crashed into the house, as if something invisible drew them there. The wife searches online and discovers others who've experienced the same thing. Meanwhile, the husband finally lands a job, and the couple celebrates. That night, the wife wakes up to find her husband standing stiffly at the door, mouth wide open, blood dripping from his nose. He doesn't remember any of it in the morning. The wife also discovers she had a 6-hour memory gap after showing a house. When she tells the husband what she found online, people who think aliens are behind it all, he refuses to believe her, and they argue again. The next day, her best friend finds strange marks on the younger son's body and suspects abuse. Then, the older son starts hearing strange noises in the woods and suddenly loses control. The doctor finds weird marks on his body too and suspects the father of child abuse. The father, furious, goes to confront his son's friend, only to get punched by the boy's dad. Things are spinning out of control. Then, one night, the father sees the younger son's monitor glitching again. He runs to the room and sees his son's eyes turn into 2 bloody holes, but wakes up. It was just a dream. But when he reviews the footage, he sees dark figures standing in every bedroom. He finally decides to face the truth and takes his wife to visit an alien abduction expert. The man's house is covered in foil and alien research. He believes they're being watched by what he calls the Greys. He's spoken with thousands of victims. He explains that aliens experiment on humans, making them hallucinate, lose jobs, and planting devices in their bodies, like the spot behind the husband's itchy ear. They always monitor their target family for a while before showing themselves, and when they do, they take the first one they made contact with. That means the younger son is in danger. The expert says they must fight back as a family. It's the only way some victims have survived. The husband buys a hunting rifle, a fierce dog, and seals all the windows. He tells the older son to protect his brother, no matter what. That night, they eat together, share memories, and laugh for the first time in days. Suddenly, the lights and TV start flickering. The dog goes wild. The husband grabs his gun and locks the kids in their room, telling them not to open the door no matter what. Bright lights flash outside. Meanwhile, an alien appears behind the wife. The door slams shut. Screws on the husband's door start turning by themselves, falling out one by one. The door bursts open, he fires the gun. The kids' room shakes, but it's their father who enters. He takes them into the master bedroom and blocks the door with furniture. The flickering grows worse, then the aliens appear. The husband shoots at them wildly. Suddenly, the older son wakes up. He sees his little brother running off and follows him. The house transforms into the place where the boy often played. He sees the father lying in a pool of blood. "I ruined everything," the father mutters before taking his own life. The older son reaches out to his brother and is pulled back into reality. None of that happened. It was all a vision. Everyone's safe, but now the older son is surrounded by aliens and taken away. 3 months later, the family moves to a new home. While unpacking, the mom sees a message from the older son. It turns out he had been the alien's first contact all along, not the younger one. The boy had always been sick as a child and allergic to many things. The aliens had marked him first. Suddenly, the walkie-talkie crackles. It's the older son's voice, calling out from the other side.